guys, so we have multiple breaking news coming out. We're gonna start with this one first. Iran sent a message, and this one here, well, is very disturbing. Before making any move, first prepare yourself to fish the dead you know what of the sleeping giant soldiers from the sea. MP says addressing Secretary of State Rubio. Losing hope of getting a bad deal, JCPOA 2.0. Once again, you have the Persian is intensifying its violent rhetoric. This is not a good message here. This goes to tell you that U.S. and Iran, done. So what's next? Well, again, guys, I do believe that there's going to be a big breaking news pretty soon when it comes to military strike in the Mideast. Once again, Iran put out this message: before making any move, first prepare yourself to fish the DEAD bodies of the sleeping giant soldiers. Alright, so we do have some more breaking news, and boy oh boy, the Holy Land launches new airstrike across Syria. Alright, so there was boom sound all over the place. Yesterday, they almost hit the palace. The Holy Land almost hit the palace in Syria. We have more breaking news. The Bear drone strike on Ukraine's northeastern city of Kharkiv. Look at this. At least 40 impacted. Alright, we're going to get to all this news here, guys. Nation Against Nations is building up really quick. For those of you that want to send us letters or prayer requests, you can send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife, Jessica Santiago, at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida, 34691. And again, thank you so much for your support, either through Patreon, PayPal, or Cash App. Thank you so much. Your support truly helps out. I want to thank those that support through Cash App. I did get my cup of coffee. I don't know what's the cup of coffee at. Man, I gotta make me another one. But thank you so much, guys. I go and I buy those little the little cups, the one that you put in the machine and stuff like that. I get those. Those are my favorite ones. I get the Dunkin' Donut blueberry flavor. So thank you so much for the support through Cash App. Thank you so much. All right, so once again, the Holy Land launches new airstrike. So this is like the second one so far, and they are sending a message to Syria. So you have boom sound, explosion are hitting sites in and around the capital as Holy Land airstrike light up southwestern Syria. Reports say multiple installations are under fire with no signs of this slowing down yet. So we do have the full information. Let's go with that news. We're going to get to Russia and Ukraine, but let me just show you, take you to this one, and then after this we go to the one in Russia, Ukraine. Alright, so once again, the Holy Land military launches airstrike on Syria after warning over sectarian strikes. The Holy Land Air Force struck near Syria's presidential palace early Friday after warning Syrian authorities not to march towards villages inhabited by members of a minority sect in southern Syria. Now it says here the strike came after days of clashes between pro-Syrian Gov and you have certain individuals out there and fighters who belong to the Druze minority sect near the capital Damascus. The clashes left dozens out or wounded. Man, those Mideast, man, again, they don't know the true definition of peace. I mean, guys, there's always war going on in that region for thousands of years. They live, they breathe, they eat. When it comes to all these biblical wars, this is again, it's not looking good. Once again, you have Syria presidency condemned the Holy Land strike, calling it a dangerous escalation against state institutions and the sovereignty of the state. It called on the international community to stand by Syria, saying that such strike targets Syrian national security and the unity of the people. Friday's strike was Holy Land's second on Syria this week, and striking an area close to the presidential palace appears to send a strong warning to Syria's new leadership. That's a mostly made up of the IS group led by, I'm going to skip those names there. I'm skipping a lot of names here, guys. Like I said, I'm trying to avoid getting hit by this platform. On Thursday, Syria's Druze spiritual leader harshly criticized Syria's gov for what he called an unjustified genocidal strike on the minority community. Now, early Friday, the Druze religious leadership said that the community is part of Syria and refuses to break away from the country, adding that the role of the state should be activated in the southern province of Swida, and authorities should be in control of the Damascus highway. We confirm our commitment to a country that includes all Syrians, a nation that is free of strife, the statement said. In the Damascus suburb of Jawamana, where fighting occurred earlier this week, security forces deployed inside the area along with local Druze GUN men. And at a later stage, heavy equipment will be handed over to authorities. As part of the deal, forces from the Defense Ministry were deployed around Jawamana without going inside. Holy Land fighter jets strike near the palace. Now, this happened yesterday, and I do believe there's a possibility it happened again. So just imagine the White House seeing something like that. Again, a flying object almost near the White House. Again, the Holy Land, they would have struck that region. They would have struck the palace, but they didn't. They sent something that's, sending a message here. The Holy Land Army said that the fighter jet struck adjacent to the area of the palace of the leader in Damascus. Its statement gave no further details. Now, the Holy Land Prime Minister Ben and Defense Minister said that the strike was a clear message to the leaders out there in Syria. We will not allow the deployment of forces south of Damascus or any warnings to the Druze community, the joint statement said. The pro-Gov Syrian media outlet said that the strike hit close to the People's Palace on a hill overlooking the city. That was very close, and there were pictures and everything that was trending on social media. Over the past 2 days, the Holy Land military said that it had evacuated Syrian Druze who were impacted in the fighting. Now, the Holy Land Army said in a statement Friday that a soldier was out and 3 were slightly impacted in an accident in the Golan. Now, an army statement added that the soldiers were evacuated to receive treatment and that the circumstances of the incident were being investigated. Clashes set off by disputed audio clip. Guys, everything is just going down. You got India and Pakistan. You got the Holy Land is seeing multiple fronts here. You got Persia, you got Yemen, you got the Hezbollah. You got all of them just going against the Holy Land. And then way up north, that's going to be the next story, which is Ukraine and Russia. Donald said that he was going to bring peace. I'm like, that ain't going to happen. Because the Bible is accurate. The Bible tells us that in the end time, there won't be peace. The only peace is Jesus Christ. The clashes broke out around midnight Monday after an audio clip circulated on social media of a man criticizing, the Again, I'm going to skip the name. The audio was attributed to a Druze cleric. But cleric Marwan said in a video posted on social media that he was not responsible for the audio, which angered many of the people. I'm going to skip certain names here, guys. Syrian Information Ministry said that 11 members of the country's security forces were taken out in 2 separate strikes, while Britain-based War Monitor, the Syrian Observatory for Human Rights, said that 99 over the past 4 days, of which 51 were out in Sana'a and the Druze majority Damascus suburb of Jaramana. Now were taken out in clashes among them local GUN men and security forces. The Druze religious sect is a minority group that began as a 10th century offshoot of, I'm going to skip certain names here, guys. So more than half of the roughly 1 million Druze worldwide live in Syria, largely the southern Swida province and some suburbs of Damascus. Most of the other Druze live in Lebanon and Holy Land, including the Golan Heights, which the Holy Land captured from Syria in 1967, Mideast War, and annexed in 1981. All right, so that's what's going on with that news. So Medek reported from, okay, so we're going to skip this one here. So that's what's going on. Once again, the Holy Land military launches airstrike, and they're still doing it. And there's a picture here of a massive boom. You see that moon? And boy, oh boy, it's not looking good right now. Alright, so we're going to go with the next news here. Now we're going to go way up north. The Bear drone strike on Ukraine's northeastern city of Kharkiv. At least 40 in critical condition on May 2nd. So the Bear forces launched drone strike on Zaporizhia late at night on May 1st. So again, we did talk about Zaporizhia. You got this one here. The Bear occupation authorities have closed the Crimean bridge. Wow, they closed the bridge. Explosions are being reported across the occupied peninsula with claims that air defense systems are active. They really closed the bridge on this one here. All right, let's see what's going on with the Kharkiv. All right, so the Bears strike Kharkiv with drones, impacting at least 40. Massive drone strike reportedly targets the Bear military sites in occupied Crimea. That's the bridge they closed down. U.S. confirms sending decommissioned F-16 to Ukraine for spare parts. The Bear drone strikes Zaporizhia. Now, we already know about Zaporizhia, so we're going to skip on that one. So a Russian drone struck on Ukraine's northeastern city of Kharkiv, impacting at least 40 on May 2nd today. According to local authorities, at least 7 have been impacted. When I say impacted, hospitalized. Kharkiv, Ukraine's second largest city, has endured repeated air assault throughout the full-scale war. Kharkiv mayor said via his official Telegram channel that the strike targeted 12 locations in 4 districts of the city, including, I'm going to skip their names, but I'm just going to highlight them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Several houses, shops, vehicles were impacted following drone strike, and some building caught, you know what, in Kharkiv, a blast governor reported. Now, a first responder had been dispatched to the site of strike. Massive drone strike reportedly targets the Bear military strike in occupied Crimea. So the bridge has been shut down. Massive hit. Now the bridge is not damaged, but they did shut it down. The Bear air defenses allegedly intercepted 89 Ukrainian drones over occupied Crimea and another 23 over the waters of the Black Sea, the Bear Defense Ministry claimed on May 2nd. Today, pro-Ukrainian Crimean Wind Telegram channel reported explosion in several key locations across the peninsula, including Sevastopol and other territories, sites that host Russian military airfields. The Saki and Kata airfields are used by the Bear to control airspace over the Black Sea and to launch strike on Ukrainian territory. Videos published by Crimean Wind showed multiple explosions and a fire near village close to Kacha airfield. So you have the Hulov is located about 1 kilometer, that's 0.6 miles from the coast of Kalamit Bay, and roughly 25 kilometers, that's 15 miles southwest of Simferopol. So you have this person here, Mikhail, the Russian installed leader in Sevastopol, confirmed on Telegram that loud sounds were caused by the Bear forces repelling an attempted drone strike. He claims 7 drones have been destroyed over the sea at a significant distance from shore. The fleet, in cooperation with air defense forces, is reflecting a massive combined strike, he wrote, claiming no damage to infrastructure in Sevastopol or its water. Now, Ukraine has not officially commented on the reported strike, and the Kiev Independent could not independently verify the claims. Things are going down today, May 2nd. Pakistan and India. Pakistan, there was a public service announcement. Millions were told to stock up on food and water that could last up to 3 months. All right, so that's their public service announcement today. The U.S. Air Force. U.S. confirms sending decommissioned F-16s to Ukraine for spare parts support. The U.S. Air Force has transferred decommissioned F-16 fighter jets to Ukraine to supply spare parts for aircraft already donated by European partners in the war zone, reported on May 1st. They have to use that name, donated, so that way, it's, they don't have to pay us back. According to an Air Force spokesperson, the U.S. Air Force has supported the sustainment of European donated F-16s to Ukraine by providing disused and completely non-operational F-16 to Ukraine for parts. Now, those aircraft for parts still goes for a lot of money. The aircraft retired from U.S. service are non-flyable and lack critical components such as engines and radars, making them unusable for operational missions. On April 26, these stripped-down F-16 airframes were reportedly loaded onto an 124 cargo plane that departed from Tucson International Airport in Arizona to Poland's airport, a key logistic hub for Western military assistance to Ukraine. Several European allies had committed to supplying Ukraine with operational F-16s. We gave that land so much stuff, it's not even funny. The Bear drone strike on Zaporizhzhia. So we already know this one. I talked about this yesterday, so we're going to skip this here. So once again, we are definitely seeing nation against nations and kingdom against kingdom. The Mideast, again, with Syria and the Holy Land, that's like the big one so far. Like I said, that palace, that presidential palace almost got hit. Look, again, we just read this not too long ago. This was posted. Excuse me, guys. It was posted 22 minutes ago. The U.S. State Department today has approved the potential foreign military sale of F-16 training and sustainment, along with related equipment to the Gov of Crane, in a deal worth an estimated $310.5 million. This is the first such deal between the United States and Crane since Donald took office in January. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I guess this war is not going to end. It's just not going to end. So basically, Donald has sent more stuff. People's not going to like it, but it says right there, F-16s, $310.5 million that's going to be sent to Crane. He said that he was going to end in 24 hours. He said he was going to bring peace. Now, I'm not going after the Donald, but again, sometimes people need to put the foot on the pedal and say, you know what, Donald, you said this and you say this. What happened? You know, people need to, again, you cannot just accept it and move on, because a lot of people called out Joe for his mistake too, and all the promise that he broke in. So again, you know, I see Donald as a good leader. He's done amazing, a lot of good stuff. But when it comes to war, again, the tariff, he's doing great. I feel like he's outbeating the Red Dragon. But when it comes to war, no. No. And these F-16s, it's not the way to end the biblical war. This is just going to make the situation a lot worse. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Once again, for those of you that want to send us a letter, it's a prayer request, you can send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife, Jessica Santiago, at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida 34691. Thank you so much for watching. God bless you all. Put faith and trust in Jesus Christ, for He's the only way, the truth, and the life. No one gets to the Father except through Jesus. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time later. Peace.